Hello. I have pulled all of these dice, with the exception of these two, out of the Vibratory Tumbler. They have been spinning around in there for a little over 3 days, and I thought I would take a look at the results. When I took them out, because I'm using corncob media and polishing compound, the moisture kind of broke the corncob media down just a little bit, and so I got lots of corncob bits and stuff stuck inside the numbers. So what I did when I took them out is I put them in a container with some soapy water and just let them sit overnight. And then this morning I scrubbed them with just a regular little toothbrush. Didn't even really need the dental pick at all, because by that point all of the corncob bits were soggy and soft and came out relatively easily. That being said, I am going to invest in either a Sonic jewelry cleaning machine or a really cheap Sonic, I almost said screwdriver, a really cheap Sonic toothbrush, specifically for cleaning out dice, because yeah, that's going to be very, very helpful and much more efficient than what I was doing. Okay, so let's just go through some of these sets. Let me zoom in and find where you are. That's where you're zooming. Okay. So, things I have learned from the Vibratory Tumbler. For not see-through dice, like, holy crap, they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. One of the biggest concerns that a lot of folks are having is it going to round off my edges? I have sharp edge dice, is it going to round off my edges? These guys, especially these Gem D6s, like, they were sharp when they went in. Like, they were uncomfortable to hold because they were so sharp. And after 3 days in the tumbler, I would still call these sharp edge dice. And if you don't, I don't want to play with your dice. Because I might lose a finger. The ends are still very pointy, but it doesn't feel like I'm going to injure myself like it felt when these were fresh out of the molds, like my masters feel, etc. One of the experiments I did was inking before I put them in the Vibratory Tumbler. These guys were inked with just regular acrylic paint, and after vibing around and then also sitting in the soapy water overnight, you can see that kind of destroyed them. I'll have to re-ink these guys. But for example, the ones that I inked in nail polish, like, they're totally fine. They're cool. They're good. I don't need to do anything to these. So we'll get to that set. But that was just another part of this experiment was, should I ink before? Should I ink after? Does it matter if I do acrylic paint or nail polish? So there you go. But yeah, these guys, they're great. They're just absolutely great. I did learn, though, that the Vibratory Tumbler is not a miracle worker. This mold started getting a little messed up on me, and, like, there was some roughness going into this, right? Like, I knew that it wasn't going to fix this here, having to trim off some flashing and some, X-Acto blade marks and whatnot. And I think I threw this in there with it sanded at maybe like 800 grit, maybe 600 grit. And you can definitely see that, yeah, these faces around the one, they're not okay, right? They're gonna need some more help. But I wanted to see how much the Vibratory Tumbler would do. And it's impressive how much it actually did. It's not going to, take a 600 grit thing and make it this shiny. But, you know, it's meh. It's not replacing my time on the pottery wheel, but it is greatly reducing the time I'm going to be spending on it. So, that in and of itself makes me excited. And again, just the shine that I'm getting off of the not messed up ones is it's really exciting. Really, really, really exciting. These were some very early attempts, and again, I threw these guys in knowing that they weren't in the best of shape. None of the sides were polished by any means, but the one face on these molds were just messed up completely, and so the one face on these dice, when I threw them in, again, were very coarsely sanded, but again, I wanted to see how well they would do in the tumbler. And I mean, this is a translucent die, and with the exception of that one face, it's coming out pretty good. Like, pretty decent for not spending a whole crap ton of time on them before putting them in. So again, I'll need to spend some time on the pottery wheel to fix that face, but once I get it up to like 1200 grit, maybe 2000, I can chuck them in the vibratory tumbler and see what happens. You know, ongoing experimentation. But yeah, all of these had the two faces, and the one faces just like that was a jacked up mold, and no amount of tumbling is going to replace a good mold. Same story here, jacked up mold, 3 days in the vibratory tumbler. It's not going to fix that, and I knew it wouldn't. I just wanted to see how big of a try, how much it would do, or how much damage it would do, you know. And as far as I can tell, it's not done any damage whatsoever. It's improved everything that it's touched, but it can't fix messed up. And I mean, these are beautifully clear, like just as at arm's length, you know, they look fantastic. But of course, I've got you zoomed up in the camera. You can see my messed up nails and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, the faces, they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. I'm very pleased. But again, it's not going to fix a jacked up mold. More experiments. You can see the clarity in this guy. The edges are beautiful. These actually were matte going in. So for them to be as shiny as they are, these edges on the D2s, like, that's really impressive. I'm pretty impressed with that. Like, they were more matte than this. This didn't take a spin in the tumbler, but more matte than this going in, and it's coming out like this. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Here's another set. Oh, there's a little piece of corn cob in that 6. There we go. Another example of it's not going to fix a jacked up mold, but it improves everything it touches. It's just not going to fix a jacked up mold or a bad sanding job. You know, you can see these corners are just messed up because I messed them up, you know, early learning. That's why these guys went in the tumbler in the first place, because I didn't care what happened to them. They volunteered as tribute, we shall say. But yeah, I mean, they're gorgeous and clear, and very little effort went into it. I'm pleased. I'm really, really pleased. That was another very, very early experiment. And again, the one face wasn't super shiny, buffed up going in, but it's not messed up either. It's not going to replace my pottery wheel, but it's significantly reducing the amount of time I'm going to be on it. This was another kind of failed experiment. It ended up turning out like a dirty aquarium. But yeah, not going to fix a jacked up mold. It's not replacing a jacked up mold. But all of the other faces, like, dang, this whole thing is just beautiful. Yeah, not fixing a bad mold, but it does improve everything it touches. That's just some nail polish spillover, but yeah, I'm really excited, guys. I don't feel like my money's been wasted at all. There's definitely nuance to this that I need to learn, but for my first spin, my first go round, I'm pretty pleased. As a control, this is a die that was done completely on pottery wheel or hand sanding, hand polishing, and I mean, it's just as clear as the other ones, but there are fewer imperfections, that I'm not gonna lie, but I'm excited about the potential for reduced time spent on the pottery wheel. So as I learn more, I will certainly keep you guys updated, but yeah, for now, that's about all I got. So thanks for watching. Bye.